Good morning, Seller Sessions. I have with me this great morning, Mr. Airshot. How are you, my lovely friend?
Good morning. I'm good.
Amazing.
Great.
We were laughing before we got on because we both are wearing red and we did not plan this. I promise you. I never wear red and here comes Airshot wearing red and we are literally wearing the same color. My I
Already.
think I think your shirt is a little better than mine though.
It's Louisiana color is red, and I'm from Louisiana, so
So you had to represent, is what you're saying.
yes,
That's amazing. I love that. And we were talking also about going to Prosper. You're coming to Prosper, yes?
yes.
Just making sure all my friends are going to be there. I'm so excited to see you and everybody else who I haven't seen for almost 2 years now. Because I think the last one that we were all at, God, I don't even remember. Because I feel like I've seen you at every single event. Like before COVID took over, like we went to the $1 billion summit, right? We were there.
Yeah.
Prosper, of course. Were you at SellerCon?
No, but the last I saw you was a click funnel.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. That one too. By the way, it's happening again this year in Orlando, I think.
Yes.
Are you going to that one?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, I bought my tickets for last year, and since they canceled it, I think it's transferable for this year. We'll see. I really like that one. Funnel hacking. They usually have some pretty nice guests and some really nice knowledge that's not so much Amazon related, but like other things. So it's always good to see. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we got a few events to go to this year, Ershad.
yeah. We go to BDSS,
Yes.
Buster. Uh, I might go to the next one that Dima will do.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I heard the last one. He killed it. He said it. I mean, I heard it was very, very good. And I know Christina was there, and you got to
Yeah.
hang out with my bestie a little bit. That's great. But tell us who you are, Airshot, and where did you come from, and how did you even end up being such a successful Amazon seller?
Yeah, so, well, my name is Airshot. I am from Iran, and I came to United States in 2009. I went to the college here in Louisiana. I studied petroleum engineering. I got a master's in petroleum, and I started working in oil field for 5 years. That's where I made the real money. I could save a lot of money, and the oil price was going down. In 2015, I knew I'm gonna get laid off, so I was thinking, okay, I need to start a business.
Mm.
So yeah, I rented a kiosk in the mall, and for the month of November and December. So okay, we'll try it. And then I started importing tea from India and China, and a lot of tea sets. I remember the first load. I got a whole full container, 20-foot container
Oh my God.
at my house.
At your house. So,
Uh,
okay, so let's go back a little bit. So you studied petroleum engineering. Was that something that you've always wanted to do? What made you do that?
well, I don't know how is it in Romania, but in Middle East, you either have to be a doctor or engineer or a lawyer.
Right.
So engineering, and from being from Iran, there's a lot of oil.
Uh-huh.
Usually, oil people get good salaries. So petroleum engineering, it
So
was.
you were thinking, okay, let me go to US, let me study it, and let me go back to Iran and apply what I've learned here. Was that the goal, or you just wanted to come and stay?
Well, you always want to have options. So that's one of the options I had. And if I could find a job in the US, that was another option. So there was never a set goal, I'm going to do this. It would depend on many things, what's going to
Got
happen. Yeah,
So you said in 2008?
2009.
2009. Okay. I
Yeah,
came here in 2003. So you came a little bit after me and you
right.
created an empire. You started Okay, so you heard, or how did you know you were going to get laid off work? Like what happened there?
Well, everybody was getting laid off. So the
Mhm.
price of oil went from like 120 to 60, and then the trajectory was going down and down. I think it went to $25 per barrel, and so I knew it's coming.
So
You know,
did you put in your did you quit or did you wait till they fired you?
no, I waited until they laid me off,
Yeah.
but it was kind of obvious because, well, if you quit, you don't get all the benefits. If they lay
Got
you off, they pay you 2.5 months or whatever.
Okay. Okay. So, and what made you like start that little boutique store in the mall? Like what brought that about? It's not
Well, I
something
think
you just wake up and say, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to start selling tea sets at the mall." Like how did that come from?
so. Well, I didn't have any business experience. Like if I go back, there's no way I would do that. Even if I want to sell at the mall, it's not going to be tea sets or tea.
Mhm. Right.
um, Then I travel a lot and I see that a lot of other countries, they drink a lot of tea. And again, being from Middle East, I try to use that advantage. I know tea, so I said let's just do tea. And tea sets maybe they buy for their as a gift for
Mhm.
Christmas. So I bought it 1,000 tea sets and 10,000 tin cans for tea. Uh, I don't know, so many pounds of tea. And they all got here, started packaging, and I sold like 50 tea sets at the end of the by the end of the year.
50. What did you do with the rest?
Yeah, that's when I started. I
Put
said,
it on
okay,
Amazon.
I had a friend that was selling on Amazon, and they said just put it on Amazon, and I put it on Amazon. I wasn't doing FBA, I was doing FBM. I was still working in the oil field, and I knew about reviews and things like that. So I had all the people that I worked with buy my product, leave me reviews, things like that. And back then it wasn't, a big
Right.
deal. So, and then like by March, I was one of the only tea set sellers on Amazon. Like
Unbelievable.
5 people.
Oh my
But by
God.
March I had reviews and I was selling like 2 a day,
Wow.
which was good. And then for Mother's Day, all of a sudden I sold 200.
Mm.
Then I was thinking, okay, I probably can sell things on Amazon. Then it clicked,
Mm.
and then I went to looked at products and to see where I have advantage over other people.
So you
So
started taking this more seriously once you saw that it started selling for Mother's
yeah,
Day. Were you
hmm
at that time were you thinking, okay, I'm gonna order more tea sets, or because you still had a very big stock that you had at your house, right? Is that where you were keeping them?
yeah, that was at my house. Yeah, and it was raining. Everything was on the ground. Then for the first time, I thought, oh, I need to palletize this. And then being a tea set, they break in shipping, so I have to open them up, bubble wrap them again. So a lot of work, a lot of experience. I didn't even know about labels, so all the labeling I had to do it myself. Um, so um, then, well, I reordered for Christmas, yes. So and then
Amazing.
I got into other stuff, office products and other home and kitchen products, which did better. And then after Christmas, I started growing the home and kitchen side again.
Okay, so you first started with one set of tea set, and but back then, were you able to like create a really good listing? And because I know you said you were able to get some reviews from all your engineer friends, but what did you do about the listing and the pictures? Did you take them yourself or what?
Yeah, everything was done all by myself. And again, back then it was so easy. Nobody had a good listing. The one guy I was selling tea set is a big brand name that was selling as a vendor on Amazon.
Hmm.
So even my bad pictures that I took myself was better than his. You
Wow.
know.
Okay.
Uh, so
Did
uh,
were you starting to utilize PPC at that time? Like, what were some other ways that you were getting sales over the other sellers?
no, nothing. I didn't know much about anything. just put it on there, and I would come up as the top two, listings when people put tea set or like ceramic tea set or, and to this day, that tea set still selling is one of our,
One of your best.
selling products. We don't do anything with it. It still sells 3 or 4 a day, and it has good margins. It's a high ticket product.
Do you think that's because of just the longevity of how long the product has been selling, or what do you think makes it the best? One of your best.
So too. Uh, Definitely the listing length. History has a lot to do with it, but I think it's a beautiful t-shirt too.
No, it's definitely cute. I remember. How many reviews you have on that one product?
I have to go look. I think 500 or 600, but it's 5 stars. So
Right, of course. Yes. It's
yeah.
a 5-star product, so obviously. No, that's so interesting how you went from like petroleum engineering to selling on Amazon, because I know, like, coming from Europe too and from where you're from, our parents are always thinking like our kids are going to become this person and this person, and I don't know what their thoughts were when you became an Amazon seller, but it probably they weren't that happy. I assume,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, they still, like, whenever I started it, my dad was saying, "So you studied all these years for nothing? You could have done this whenever you got your high school diploma." I said, "Yes, I could have. That's what I'm gonna tell my kid. You
Exactly.
don't have to go to college, uh, but if you want to go, that's fine.
But
It's
of
just
course, I mean, what do you study in college? It stays with you, and I'm sure you have a lot of knowledge and you made a lot of friends. But it's so important to know when to let go, because most people tend to stay in positions for the rest of their life and suffer because they're like, well, I already spent in so many years on studying this, and they never take a chance. And you're literally the pure example, one, just because of like the family culture, and I know how tough that can be, because it's like you're going against everything they ever believed in. And two, you don't even know Amazon. Like, you're just taking a chance too. And you are literally one of the most successful sellers that I know. I mean, we've known each other for, I would say, at least 5 years. Would you say
yes.
that's accurate?
I would say since I started Amazon, maybe 6 months after I started Amazon, I
Yeah.
started working.
Yes, definitely. That's why I remember you being like in the beginning. I mean, you were still doing amazing, and all these years later, you just bought a warehouse. How big is that warehouse?
Well, the whole thing is 540,000 square foot.
Okay,
So
say that again. Say that again.
it's 540,000 square foot. That's the whole thing.
540,000 square foot. I think I want to say that's bigger than the city that I'm from, but that's that's absolutely amazing. I mean, if I had an award, I would give it to you right now, Airshot. But it's just, that's why I wanted to have you on. And I know this is your first interview, right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. And I've been trying to get you on for a long time, and I know you just like to keep it quiet and do things yourself. But I really wanted to have you on because you are such an example. You're such a hero, really, too. Like, I look at you and I'm like, oh my God, like, you really built yourself up. First of all, you're not born here. You came here, you struggled, and you created literally an empire. When I said empire, I mean, you are running an empire, like, pretty much all by yourself. I mean, do you have employees? How many employees do you have?
Yes, I have 21 employees.
And they're
So,
all around you, or they're mostly VAs?
yeah, I have 15 warehouse workers that they are working right now, and then 6 VAs,
Very
mostly
nice.
in Turkey, some in China, one in Philippines.
So, how many brands are you running right now? How many do you have?
About eight
8 brands.
brands. Yes.
Okay. So you started with the T sets, and then you said, you know what, I can do this, right? And then you started another one and another one. Or how did that came about? How did you even pick what your other brands are going to be like? Because they're very different.
Yeah. So it's all about
Arshad? I think we lost
Everybody
you.
comes and asks.
Sorry, I
Okay.
think we lost you for a little bit. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No
Yeah,
way.
so I was saying, like, people come and ask me what product I should do, and I always tell them, whatever you are good at, you should do that. So whenever I started tea, because I thought I know tea, which was the wrong decision, but that was my thought process. So I started office and school supplies because my wife is a teacher and I'm an engineer. So I said, okay, I can do math supplies or whatever. And, I can know what's good and bad, or write a good listing, things like that. And then after that, I learned Amazon. So everything was my advantage. So basically.
So do you feel like you apply the same knowledge from one brand to another?
Yeah, definitely.
And do you have like SOPs that you follow every time you start a new brand? Because I mean, from what I see, like even trying to rank products, every single product is so different. Like when you're trying to rank it, like you can't apply necessarily the same methods. I know everybody's thinking there must be some cookie cutter way of doing things, but it really isn't. So I'm just thinking, since you have so many brands, like are you using different like launch methods or different strategies? Like what are some things that you're doing differently from one brand to another?
So I would say there is cookie cutter ways to do stuff, and that's how you scale. If it's not cookie cutter, you cannot scale. You have to do everything yourself, or that's what I think. But that being said, there is different methods based on your products. If you sell supplements, it's a different kind of lunch. Or if you sell high ticket items, well, you can't do a lot of giveaways, so you have to do some other things. But if you sell cheap, whatever $4.99 item, it's a different kind of launch. So I would say for each product or category, you have to think how, and then write the SOP for that category, or based on I would say price point is most important. Yeah.
Do you ever sell your brands or you just keep them?
It depends. Well, I do have partners in most of the brands. It's not just me, and I mean, they do great. They do amazing. They help a lot in different areas, and we have our own lanes. Each person does, whatever they're good at. But based in all of our operating agreements is like whenever we see we are just growing linearly, that means not doubling our size every year. Then that's time to sell. So if it's just going slow like that,
So you sold already some of your brands?
not yet. It's been doubling.
Because it's been going so well for you. I love hearing that. Are you thinking of launching any new brands soon?
Uh, yeah, I'm actually launching one new brand right now.
Are you in the process of launching, or you're in the manufacturing stage? What stage are you on with that?
I'm at this launch stage, so I got the products, and it's one of the toughest time to launch products right now because of Amazon limits. So if you have a new account and you want to launch a new brand, unless you're launching one product, but I'm launching 30 products for that one brand at one time, so it's a challenge.
Unbelievable. So how many do you have a plan? Okay, every year I want to launch this many brands. What is your like 5 years look like from now on?
Oh, I don't know, $1 billion in sales. That's my 5-year goal.
That's a very good goal to have. Listen, I wish you all the good luck. I mean, I know you don't need any luck because you work super super hard. But do you have a plan? Like, okay, this is what I'm doing next year and the following one. Do you have a roadmap? Do you have all the calculations? How do you go about making decisions? This kind of decisions.
Yeah, basically, you see the end goal and where you want to be, and then you read it in the books all the time. You break it up in smaller goals and short term, and then little long term, and then the long term. And then you write how you can get to those short term goals, and then you do it. You hit the goal, then next one, But basically, in 5 years, if we can double our size every year, it's going to be 1 billion, and that's going to be minimum,
Minimum 1 billion minimum, right?
if nothing crazy happens.
Of course,
Always
of course. I mean,
crazy.
nothing crazy happened this past two years, and you survived. So I think you're fine. I think you will do really great. Are you So for brands, or do you have for the next products that you launch? Do you have an idea in mind? Because I know you said the first time you picked like tea sets, and then you picked school supplies. Like, what is your thought process for the next brands? Do you just look at what's trending right now? How do you pick what your next products are going to be?
So we do have a business model. We just don't randomly choose products. We have to choose products that I'm most comfortable with. I know I can grow it the fastest. And then based on that process, we choose what niche we're gonna go into, and then next, whatever product or brand we want to do, we want to be most influential in it. Where I can bring the most advantage to it, or grow it fastest. That's how I usually look at it. There are many products that are profitable, really high profit margins, but I might not be able to grow it fast. So that's not a product for me. Not at this point.
Got it. We have a question here from Tony. Hi, Airshot. Do you sell on other markets like Walmart or eBay?
Just for branding purposes, yes, but I can say no, basically.
So when you say for branding purposes, what exactly do you mean? Do you just mean that you want, just if people are searching for your brand name, or what exactly do you mean by that? We keep losing you, Irshad.
My
We lost you again for a little bit.
Is it good now?
Is it Louisiana weather, or what's going on?
No, it's just it's a new warehouse, so it's a new internet, so it's just.
Got it. No problem. So,
I'm sorry.
no worries. So what do you mean just for the brand? Are people searching your product, and you want to make sure that you show up in all these marketplaces? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so just to have a presence in other marketplaces. So if they go in Walmart, they can find and search my brand name, it comes up.
What would you say the percentage is on selling on Walmart compared to Amazon?
It's like 0.05.
Okay. Is it because you didn't really groom it and try to do anything with it? Do you feel like there's room for growth on Walmart right now?
Yeah, I think definitely there is. Is the you that that's one of the goals to hit. I would say by the end of the year, to start selling at Walmart. eBay, I don't think my products are good for eBay anyways. But Walmart, I think we can do some sales, especially with the warehouse we got. Now I can fulfill myself rather than doing delivery or some other third party. So there is definitely room to grow. I just never focused on it because I thought, okay, the amount of time I'm spending in Amazon bears more fruit than Walmart. So that's always the decision. The way I make decisions for brands, for products, for whatever decision we want to make.
So would you say that Amazon is your primary source of revenue?
Right. For
And
sure.
you're not scared that, with Amazon, how bipolar it can be sometimes, that you may get suspended or something happens and Amazon removes all your product. I mean, there's so many crazy stories. Not that, I mean, a knock on wood, not that it's going to happen. I'm just saying you're not scared.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We try to not do as like any black hat as much as possible, but still, I mean, you gotta kind of have that mindset. Hey, I'm gonna lose the whole thing tomorrow. So,
Mm-hmm.
and again, like you wanna take, if you're growing and you feel comfortable, you should take some money out. Take your risk lower, and every year you say, okay, I take this much out, or pay myself, or whatever. Uh, that way, if I lose everything tomorrow, I didn't waste my life.
Mm, got it.
That's how I look at it. But some people look at it, oh, I want to sell after so many years, and that's how they take all the risk out. So basically, I sell to myself or our partners. We buy it ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Got it. So are you thinking of maybe selling one of your brands? Like what would you let one of your brands go? I know you said, if it doesn't double, but what would be like a crazy offer that one of these aggregators can offer you that you'll be like, you know what, done, take it?
Uh, so basically, if they can offer, so if I look at next year, let's say they want to offer $1 million. If I can make the company 2 million by next year, I'm not gonna sell it.
Correct.
If they offer 2 million, so you know what I'm saying. If my company value is 1 million, they offer two, and I think it's going to be two next year, I'm not gonna do it. So they have to offer more than two for a $1 million company.
Right, exactly. No, I love that for, you know what you want, but do you also feel like maybe you feel like these are your babies and you can't really let go of them, especially like your early brands? Do you feel like there's a little sentimental value as well in that?
There are some, especially well, when you scale or when you have a lot of products, you lose that sense because I used to memorize all the SKU numbers and everything, how many percent, everything. Now I don't have a clue
Of
what is
course.
going on. So the baby, it's kind of like you forget your baby's names.
Yeah, well, if you have as many babies as you have SKUs, then I think, yeah, everybody would forget their babies' names. That's
Yeah.
Do you ever consider like going back to like engineering or no?
Well, if I go back for sure, but it's not going to be working for another person. It's going to be a start an engineering company. You know.
Would you do that? Like, do you feel like you have like so much love for that field or just still to make your parents happy?
No, I think that's part of it, but again, these are all the advantages I have as an engineer that many other people will not. I
Mhm.
know a lot of engineers, a lot of smart engineers, and mostly from Iran.
Mhm.
And if I start a company, I know I can hire them. I know
Mhm.
I have a good human resource potential rather than some other guy.
That's
So that's something.
That's very smart. Well, you can sell all your brands to the aggregators and then start a start an engineering company and hire all the best minds in the world. You can always do that. Or you can stay with Amazon.
Yeah, just keep Amazon.
Keep Amazon. And you mentioned a little earlier that you're trying not to do as many black hats. So I have a question for you that most people will probably not answer, but do you feel like you can be successful on Amazon today with doing absolutely zero black hat techniques or somewhat gray techniques?
Mm, mm.
100% honesty.
I guess it really depends how fast you want to grow and how much you want to grow. That's what I would think. If you want fast growth, you need to do some gray, at least gray hats.
Hmm.
Or at least for the beginning, until you get some money. You either have to do some gray hat or you have to spend money. There's no other way. Or you have to wait. You
Hmm.
know.
But you
Um,
still you're confident that somebody today they can start a brand, use absolutely only white hat, only white hat. They just put their product up and spend money on PPC, right? I mean, do you think somebody can be successful just by having a really good product and utilizing PPC?
I think they can. If they're good at Amazon, they need to be good and knowledgeable.
But most people are not. I mean, to be good at Amazon, you need to have many years of experience. Like you, were you good at Amazon day one?
No, but
Exactly.
so I'm saying like you have to have a lot of money to be able to do that. You need to, because you need to spend money. Let's say you want to run PPC and you don't know how, so you have to probably hire someone that that takes money, or you're gonna have to spend a lot of time learning PPC to be able to um, I don't
Do
know.
you do your own? Do you do your own PPC, or you have an internal agency that works for you? Like how do you deal with that?
So I have one of our employees, VAs, one of the VAs handle PPC. Yeah.
And he's doing all the brands.
Yes.
And did you train him? Did you like groom him into exactly what you want, or how did you get him to be so good?
Yeah, basically training myself and my partners, and it takes time. Training takes a lot of time, but you can get a lot of VAs for that doesn't cost you a lot, and they're smart people. They're again, all my VAs are engineers. They're not some random guy.
Right.
They have some sort of engineering degree, so they know English very well. They're smart. They're good at math. They like the person I hire all the time. I like them to understand patterns, to see what's good, what's bad, based on the last results. Especially for PPC, you want that. And then, I mean, if they're good people, they learn. Good people, like smart and then dedicated and motivated, and they're not expensive. They can work at least 12 hours a day easy.
Mm-hmm. How do you find your VAs, by the way? Like where did you find this guy?
So at first it was hard because I asked around from family and friends, and then I interview people. Then they work for 1 week, 2 weeks. They're not good. Get another person again, and then you find that one person. I would say the most important attribute of that person is being hardworking and available. You know, um, and then once you find that one person, then you start teaching them little by little everything. It takes time. You gotta be patient, and then you can. A lot of these people we find on LinkedIn.
Okay. And do
Yeah.
you give them like some personality tests? How do you know that you even want to give them a try? Because there's a lot of people out there. Do you have some preset qualifications that you're like, okay, this guy is moving forward with the interview or so forth?
No, basically just interview the person, and if they have a degree, that's a good thing. If they can speak English, that's good. And we add them to our chat group. Like we kind of know based on the way they talk, their self confidence. I always ask like, what's their availability? I want them as soon as I message them, I want them to answer. It doesn't matter what time of the day. So that's one of the requirements. Then they either say yes or no right there. But then we work for 2 weeks on an hourly basis, and we give them some small, easy job, but we put a lot of pressure on them in the first 2 weeks, and a lot of pressure, like unbelievable. Some of them stay, and those are the good ones, and many of them quit.
Right. Do they quit just because it seems like it's too much for them, or
Yeah, they just say, hey, I don't think I'm a good fit for your company culture.
the culture of working hard?
The culture of being pushed.
Got it.
And
That's
it's not just them. My partners, they push me. They push me so hard, I want to quit sometimes, and I push them so hard, and everybody, and that's our company culture. It's not based on fear though.
Yeah.
They're not scared, but they know that if we accept the responsibility, it needs to get done.
Wow.
You know?
That's so wonderful that you found the perfect partners, because not everybody's so dedicated as you. So for you to be able to find somebody that matches you, or it's even,
Mhm.
hungrier in a sense, that's pure luck right there too.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely lucky there. Yes.
I mean, if you say they push me so hard, sometimes I want to quit too, and they're your own brands, that says a lot. So that's pretty good. Let's see what other questions you have. This is so good, Airshot. This is amazing. I love all the knowledge that you're sharing with us. What do you think the greatest obstacle to scale an Amazon business is right now?
Well, to scale anything, the greatest obstacle I would say is building your team. Um, that thing is hard. It takes a lot of work and dedication, but it makes your job much easier once that team is built. Your job is basically done. But the first 6 months of building the I guess the core of the team, it takes a lot of time, a lot of staying up all night. Teaching them. It's hard for them. It's hard for you. A lot of things go wrong. They do it wrong. They make mistakes. Uh, so I think that's the biggest obstacle.
I
Right now, you don't even need a lot of money to build your team. Remotely. You can build your team in Philippines or some other country pretty cheap. You know.
Somebody's a perfect segue to this next question. What is the average salary of a great full-time VA? And do you recommend hiring a VA from the Philippines?
Um, I usually pay about $500 a month if they're really good, plus bonuses. So if they're really good, randomly I give them bonus. Not on there's not a set schedule for bonus or set goal that they meet, but randomly if they're really good or they do something that shocks me, uh, I just add a bonus to the paycheck. Um, but VAs from Philippines, never had any issue with them, and they're very. I like people who are polite. Philippines is a little hard. I don't like. They're not available all the time compared to other countries that I work. Uh,
So what
but they are
countries
good
do you
workers
hire
and
from?
they know English very well. It's communication.
Turkey.
Turkey,
Interesting. What made you go that
yeah.
route?
Um, so again, I'm from Iran. I know Iranian people. There's many Iranian community in Turkey, and
Got it.
mm, dollar value is dollar to Turkish
Hmm.
lira is a high number. So
And you find
it's
them, you said you find them on LinkedIn, or how do you find the VAs for this particular positions? Where do you find them?
yeah on LinkedIn. So uh, you gotta find them. You have to find your main guy first. Main guy is the manager, the one that's gonna manage the whole thing, and you manage that guy. And then once you find that guy, then you teach him how to hire. So
Hmm.
he'll go on LinkedIn or any other website that they use in that country, let's say,
Hmm.
um, and just interview people and find them, call them, ask them, push them, and then hire them. You know,
So you're stealing people from other companies.
what's that?
You're stealing some people from other companies too.
No, I'm not. I don't know many Amazon sellers that hire people from Turkey. So,
Well,
uh,
I think after this interview, a lot of them are going to go look for uh for employees from Turkey. No, these are
but
also great.
that's the wrong way of looking at it. Like you can't compare yourself to me. Why do I go to Turkey? Why don't I go to Romania? Because I have advantages in Turkey that nobody else has. So
Hmm.
if you have advantages in Romania, it would be stupid if you go find your VA from Iran.
Hmm. Got it.
Look
Of course,
at
it makes
how
it
much
makes
cheaper
sense.
it is.
Right. No, that is true. My as you know, you've worked with my team a lot. All my team is actually in US. I've never had a VA from another country. So this is actually good for me as well because as I am growing and I'm scaling, I need to consider some other options. But yeah, all my team is from US right now. Jacob, hello, Jacob. Universally, in all instances of success to this level, a partnership and or team is essential for sustained growth. And exactly what you were saying, Ershad. Um,
Yeah,
I think it's so true.
yeah. I think having a partner really helps, especially in the beginning stages. It mitigates your risk, and you can encourage each other and push each other, you know. So,
Absolutely.
but when you get bigger, it gets harder. Partnerships gets harder and harder as far as legalities.
Got it. How many full-time VAs do you need for a complete team for a 7 to 8 figure Amazon business?
It depends how good they are, but I would say 5 or 6 is enough. Yeah. Um, you would need. I can tell you what. You would need one manager to manage everything. That's your first hire or first VA. I don't call him VA anymore, but he's the manager.
Would
And
you
then
say that that person has to be a US person or they can still be from out of the country?
yeah, they don't have to be in the U.S. Um, really, I don't think any of your employees has to be in the U.S. Whatever scale you are, unless you're running a warehouse or something.
Right.
Um, but my team is one manager, one creative photographer and videographer, and then social media, one for social media and outside traffic, kind of not to do advertisement, just branding. Um, one for Amazon listings, one for PPC, and that's it. I think that's all I have. And
So
then
you
one for customer service. I forgot. Yes, 6.
so you like using everything internal. So what you do, you like to build your team so you don't need any outside help. Like you don't go to a PPC service, you don't go to like a photography service. I'm sure you did that in the beginning, but do you
Yeah.
feel like that's helping you save money, or why, or does your team do a better job than the ones that are outside? Why do you choose to do it the way you're doing it?
Um, it depends what it is, and it depends on your knowledge. How much you know yourself. But I would say when you're scaling up to some point, it makes sense to do it. Pay someone some services to do it. At some point, it's just the economy of scale. Okay, now it's time for me to hire a photographer to just take photos 24/7 for me. I must share it on my social media, on my Amazon, or I'm just gonna throw it out. I don't even need it.
Mhm.
Or whatever. I can hire one person for PPC for $500 a month, uh, and they run all my PPCs, and that's all they do every day. And you give them metrics. This is what you look at. This is how you know, optimize it. This is how you do it, and that's all they do all day, 12 hours a day.
Brilliant. Brilliant,
But
Irshad.
it would be good if you bring one, outsider every now and then to maybe look at it
Consult
from outside. You
or
pay them like 5,000 and say, hey guys, PPC service. Why don't you come look at my PPCs and see how they're running? And they give me a report of what I'm lacking, and then you go to your PPC guy and say, hey, these are the things we need to fix.
these are such good advice, Irshad. Like you are so brilliant. I'm so glad you were able to share this with us. Omar is asking, what tasks do you think must be delegated right from the start, and what tasks shouldn't be delegated because you have to do it as an Amazon seller?
Right from the start, right from the start, you don't. I don't think you should delegate any task. You should do it yourself. Uh, I think you need to learn everything a little bit at least. So whenever you're talking to a service, you're talking to your VAs, you are not clueless. So even like the first thing I had to learn was how to do Photoshop, to do my um, how to do my trademarks, design patterns, things like that. I had to learn all that. I never paid for anything like that. If you have the money though, go ahead and do it. If you don't have, but I would definitely first do it myself. But the first task, I would think customer service is the first task you want to delegate. But as soon as your company is growing just a little bit, hire that manager. Hire a manager to learn with you what's going on. Um, and then have him handle customer service person and this person and that person.
Wonderful. How does Airshot manage product development, sourcing, and logistics? I mean, this is probably another episode we can talk about this, but anything you want to say on this?
Yeah, so product development, the line of product I have is different from whatever you have. So it's different what kind of product you're doing. But that's my secret sauce, product development. But sourcing, so I work with a sourcing company. From the beginning, I never worked with factories. I was worked with traders in China. And so they basically find the factories, they go talk to them, they negotiate the QC and everything. Let's say they buy that $1, they add 20%. I told them I give you 20% profit. Whatever the price of the factory is, add 20% and give it to me. And they're happy with that. So that's how I started, and now we are at the stage that, they don't have any other customer, they only work for me. So basically, they're my team.
Wow, that's wonderful. Do you ever go to China? Have you been?
Yes, 4 times.
4 times. And you're planning to go once China opens?
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to go right now, but they don't allow me.
Yeah, I've heard that you have to have like their own vaccine, I think. I don't know how true that is, but they're making it definitely very difficult for us to go over there right now. But you have like a manager there as well, right? In China, since they're basically all working for your products.
Yeah, so basically, that company that I'm working with right now, they're doing all the products, and they're basically our office in China, you know, for all the brands. So that makes the sourcing part easy, very easy.
And how do you do about the shipping times now and bringing in all these? Like, do you have some ways that you go around it? Like, because you must be in the same boat with all the other sellers now, or you have a
Yeah,
secret way of bringing products in that we don't know about.
no, it's the same. Everything is delayed right now, and it's hard. But you just have to pay more. There's no other. You pay more, they do it for you.
So you pay more to speed it up, or you pay more to send it quicker, or what do you mean by that?
I think the main problem right now is space. The problem I have. But so if I pay more, they guarantee a space in the container for me. Um, Delay hasn't been an issue for me. Being from Louisiana, our port is different. Sometimes I send through LA, Long Beach, most of the time from New Orleans port, and there's no congestion in that port. So,
I
yeah,
love that. I love that you know where to save money and when to spend it. Because there are other people who are all about, I want to save every single dollar, so I'm not paying my VAs that much. I'm not doing this. I'm taking my own pictures. I'm doing this. But it seems like you know where to use your money. Like, you can find cheap VAs that you're paying $500 a month, but also know when to spend a little more to bring your shipment in. I think that's genius. I think, which is probably one of the reasons why you're so successful. I mean, you're an 8-figure now. You're going to be soon 9-figure. Like, that's insane. That's crazy. Like, do you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am proud of you, Airshot? Do you ever do that?
No,
You
never
should
did
you should
that.
start doing that. You should start doing that because you have definitely built an empire and you are, an example to follow in the community. And that's why I wanted you to be on today because I want more people to know about you. I mean, every time
Thank you.
I want to tell everybody, Airshot is the king. So
Thank
you're
you so much.
amazing.
But again, it's a lot of it getting it, getting on Amazon at the right time, kind of. And then with that, the the price of making mistake was lower, So a lot of things I learned at the lower price.
Mm.
Um, so a lot of this where to save money, when to hire VA, when to hire from US. You just have to do it and learn. There's no way you can know what's the correct decision at all times.
So for somebody that's never done Amazon in their life and they're just listening to this right now, would you say yes, go ahead and start an Amazon brand? Would you say that it's still a viable business today?
Yes, for sure. However, a lot of people come ask me, and then I ask them how much money you want to make. Um, it really depends on how much money you are trying to make on Amazon. Then, based on that, you have to set your goals, like not goals, like set the plans and say, okay, for this much money, I need this much income. I need this much money. I need to put this many hours a day, based on my knowledge, my current knowledge, and then do it. So I definitely say people can do it. It's easy, especially whoever comes to me and say, "Hey, can I make $500 a month on Amazon easy?" I say, "Yes, you can do that. That's for sure doable. Like that's not hard." But I also tell them, "Hey, if you make $500 a month on Amazon, you probably easily can make 5,000 a month with the same knowledge. You don't have to learn so much more.
Really?
Yeah, you just need more money. That's what."
Absolutely. So you need a lot more money to get in, which will equate to a higher producing revenue after. So it's all about how much money you're putting in.
And I would say a lot of sellers are, they disagree with me on that, but I think it does have a lot with how much money you have. It gives you security, it gives you more time to put, because for me, the first 2 years, I didn't have to work. My wife was working as a teacher, so we had insurance and all that, and I just saved for 5 years. I worked in the oil field. I saved a lot of money. So I didn't take a single penny out. Even until last year, really, that was the first time I took money out of the business.
Mhm.
So, the amount of money that went back to the business, that's a
So you
lot.
kept putting the money in all the time. So for somebody to start now and get to 100 million in a year, what do you think? How much money do you think they would need to start?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I thought you know the answer to everything, Ershad.
I don't know how much money they need. But I would say I would definitely think if somebody wants to start an Amazon business, I think they need 10K at
Minimum.
least.
Minimum.
10, yeah, 10 to 15 for one product and just start
And
it.
this is the money just you're saying for the product cost or 10K that will include your your listing and pictures and everything, your brand registry and or are you just thinking 10K just for the product?
For everything. I would say 10 to 15 for everything. But no, you gotta do your pictures yourself. I think that's crazy if you pay someone to do your pictures. You can do it yourself.
Rest in peace, everybody that has a picture company.
At least for the first product. Oh man.
Yeah. This is so wonderful. I love that you're so raw and so honest. This I know you probably have to go. I think somebody came to already get your attention, right? And
No,
we're getting close to an hour. I know you now you don't want to leave. See, this wasn't too
well,
bad.
um,
I can keep you for another 2 hours, but no, this has been so wonderful, Airshot. And For those who want to meet you, I know you're going to be at Prosper. So if you are one of our listeners and you see Airshot, come and say hi. He is a fountain of knowledge. And I am so proud to call you my friend. And I'm
Thank
so
you. Thank you.
thank you for
Well,
being with us.
yeah, one last thing.
Yes.
We worked together since kind of the beginning of my startup business, so I can't recommend Isabella's services more.
Oh,
You
you're
know,
so
um,
sweet. And
one
guys, I didn't pay him to say this. So
no, yeah, she didn't. But again, I try to do everything the simplest way possible, and one of the simplest way possible to rank your product is rank bill.
oh my God,
So,
you're so sweet. Thank you, Airshot. It's not because we're both wearing red today, right? That's
no,
that's an honest 5-star review, guys. So I
yeah,
appreciate you, Airshot. I mean, it's I as much as I'd like to say yes, it was all rank bell, it wasn't. It's your brilliance and your consistency and everything that you're putting into your business day in and day out is what made you successful. So I can't thank you enough for being here with us today. You are wonderful. And again, if you see him or me at Prosper, come say hi. We'll probably be together at some point, I'm sure.
yeah,
So yeah, thank you so much, Arshad, for being with us today. You are so wonderful.
no problem. Thank you,
Thank
and
you.
have a good Monday.
Happy Monday. Let's get the money.